Hey. It seems like, hold on one second. Seems like we're going to be live a few times lately. Hi. We got a quick message to add on to the video we just did. So if you did not watch the video before this one, please go watch it. Because we just got another thing that we need to talk about real quick that we didn't get to talk about. Let's get something straight, guys. Interactive part. Who remembers tagging the world in the beginning? The world was tagged. From the Trumps, truth tellers, music platforms, the world was tagged. Who remembers that? Start screen recording. Who remembers that the world was tagged? Mark this day on the calendar. I'm getting someone. I'm getting someone. I'm getting somewhere, I promise. There's a reason for this. And I need you to hold on to this video for me, because you're going to look back at it in a minute and you're going to be like, oh. And somebody said, and a ton of us at one point slamming emails. Yes, who remembers email in the world? Who remembers sending out hundreds? Remember I just put that in the XO Odyssey story? Who remembers sending out hundreds of emails? Screen record this, because I really need you to hang on to this for me. Because in a minute you're going to look back at this and be like, yep, called that too. So, go back. Who remembers sending tons of emails? Put them in the comments. You're screen recording this, right? Because I want you to see the people who are like, I did. Who remembers calling hotlines, checking the criteria on what is those trafficking hotlines good for? Who remembers doing that? How many times did anybody call to just check? I know a survivor. I know one. So what can I do? And they shut you down. Who remembers that? Anybody? Who remembers? Come on, wait, stay with me. Please stay with me. Thank you for everybody that is screen recording right now. The real 90s know. The real 90s got it. Y'all remember when I said, hey, get the screen records out. Ireland was still awake and got us getting pulled over at a time that America was sleeping. So thank you guys. So screen record. Who remembers sending tons of emails, tagging the world, commenting on people's platforms, sending them messages, thanking them for at least doing a little bit and asking them to, hey, do a little bit more, but not about Ali. Do it for the reason of what we're talking about. Do it for the children. Who remembers that? Who remembers calling shelters? Because we told you guys, call shelters. Go to your pastors. Go to the pastors of your church and ask them what they do for trafficking survivors. Who remembers that? We told you guys to go to your own states and in your own countries and ask, what do you do for trafficking survivors? Do y'all remember that? Y'all screen recording, right? Okay, good, because you're going to need this in a minute. You're going to need this in a minute. And this connects to the other video. You remember that? Somebody, thank you, please. I remember. I did. They did nothing. Exactly. Who remembers tagging the entire world? Who remembers that? Now, I want you to tell me, who do you know that you tagged? Everybody tagged them constantly. How many times in the 2 years that we've been on here have they talked about trafficking? Can you count on one hand? Will you be able to count on both hands and use all of your fingers? Are y'all screen recording? How many times did they talk about trafficking? How many times did they circle back to about things that, you know, the BLM riots, the Kyle Rittenhouse thing, the George Floyd thing, the 6 foot distance thing? How many times? How many times did they circle back to that? But how many times did they continue on to talk about trafficking? Because we told you guys at one point, how many times we tell y'all, don't use my name to do what needs to be done. You have the information. Everybody can look in their own states right now and see that there are a bunch of missing children in their states right now. So how many times in my stories did we post the missing kids from right now? How many times? Who did anything about the missing children from that moment? Who's doing anything about the missing children in your state? Have you stopped to look up the missing children in your state right now? How many of them are missing? Have you heard it on the news? Have you seen it on any Truth Tellers platform that's from that state or that country? Have you heard anybody talking about them or pushing the fact that there is a trafficking situation happening in their state with big platforms? Now, I told you guys that yes. Now, you guys, how many times did you guys see us tell you these truth tellers are not who they say they are? Watch this. They say they come to help, and then when they tell us something that don't sound right to us, that raises a red flag to us, and we say, you know what, we're okay. Did we badmouth them first? Have we ever brought a name to you guys? Did we badmouth them first, or did we just say something happened and all we're going to do is back up? Let me explain the situation. I'm not going to name anybody. I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to throw anybody's name through the dirt. If they don't bite, we don't draw the first blood. Who remembers all the times that somebody tagged a truth teller and then they degrade and belittle, get angry and all that shit? Who got attacked? Do y'all remember getting attacked by organizations and foundations? People that you tagged too much and they were like, stop tagging me, we can't help them right now. But did you see them helping other survivors at the moment? Now, all your truth tellers and the people who you see that are now talking about trafficking, I want you to ask yourself, in the 2 years that we have learned so much stuff from this platform and in between other platforms, but from this platform specifically, everything that you have learned here on your own, because we said, hey, here's this information, go look. Here's this information, go look. Who remembers that? Now, who remembers getting attacked for saying, hey, this is going on? Hey, do you know about this? Hey, do you know about that? Who's gotten attacked, threatened, slammed, degraded, sent crazy messages, blocked, deleted, bullshitted in a runaround? Who did that? How many times has that happened? Somebody said they switched the focus away from the children. To what? To what? To things that they already knew, right? Now, multiple people did message us, like I just said in the last live. Multiple people messaged us 93, 94, 95 weeks ago, November 13th, 2020. There's a bunch of people that did message us. A lot of people we just now seen in the inboxes, and there are some people that we reached out to and messaged back and said, hey, we did not see these messages. Before the fact, though, there's been a lot of people that have messaged and said, multiple people in high places, stay with me, y'all. Screen recording, stay with me, please. There's a point to this. You're going to have to come back to this video. So stay with me. When there's been multiple people that were like, hey, we know that there's something going on. We know that there's something happening. We just can't do anything about it because it puts us in danger. We can't stand in that place right now. I didn't bash them. I'm not upset. I'm just like, okay, I understand. This shit is not easy. Did y'all not hear me say that? This is not easy. So there's a lot of big people in big places that are like, we can't do anything then. Now we got a lot of people running this way talking about, well, I tried to message. I this, I that. Now I want to help. There's some people circling back. They're related and they have some type of connection to the people who slammed us in the beginning, the people who didn't want to do anything in the beginning, the people who were upset that they got tagged too many times in the beginning, the people who were questioned too hard in the beginning. Can y'all still hear me? Am I cut out now? I'm canceled now? We're done now. Can y'all still hear me? Can you hear me? Yes, I can hear you. Thanks, Shiv. Can you, nope, you're fine. Can you hear me now? Okay, so I'm going to try to say this a little bit quicker. So So all those people, you can hear me? This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Does that work with the algorithm? This little light of mine. Did I say too many words? I'm gonna let it shine. Those buzzwords. This little light of mine will stop the algorithm. I'm gonna let it shine. Censorship sucks. Let it shine. Let it shine. Can you hear me now? Good. All right, cool. So, all those people, are you still screen recording? Are you still screen recording? This video is gonna make sense. Someone said, so what's the point? Okay, good. I'm getting there. All these people are coming back now. There's a lot of new people that are coming that didn't see it. There's some good people that just didn't see things. So there's some people saying things now, well, I tried to help. If Trump tried to help today, if Trump landed in front of us in a Secret Service plane right now and said, hey, let me help, do you understand that Trump is not going to be the only one? If we were to go into witness protection or anything like that, Trump is not the only one who would have that information. His Secret Service would have that information. Somebody that would have to be handed a file would have to have that information. Somebody who has to know where the property is to give somebody the keys to it will have that information. There's people who have to unlock that door to maybe maintenance it, has that information. Do you understand that it goes through multiple hands? And eventually it lands in corrupt hands. So how are we supposed to trust people? This is what we were saying from the start. I want you to do this. There's a lot of people who are like, well, I want to help. In these 2 years, I have not heard you say something about the children. If you are going to message me now, I see that we're coming back to me now. I appreciate it. If you're going to tell me we stand with you, I appreciate that. Thank you so much for that message. But here's what I need. Here's what we need help with. Help me share what's going on in this world. Help me use your platform to do the right thing. Use your platform. If you don't have to write a diary about what the hell you've seen or what you were going through. You need to say something about what the hell is going on and what you know to be true. You have a platform to do it. What are you waiting for? Nobody is calling people to action to cover the streets and get outside, but everybody did to cover the streets for Pride, for BLM, for other bullshit. Help me get people outside. Help me tell them the truth. Help me push the things that need to be pushed for other survivors and other people that need your mouth. Right now, use your voice for the voiceless. That's what that shit means. See, you're talking to me like, oh my God, I tried to help. I'm here all of a sudden. Are you still screen recording? Because you're going to need this in just a second. All of you, are you still screen recording? If you see celebrities and you see all these people that are now like, I want to help me get people outside. Help me share the things that are actually going on in this world today. Help me help other survivors that are waiting to move, that are looking at me like, Allison, what are we doing? And Shelly, what are we doing? And my mother and I are doing our damn best. Am I still paused? Can you still hear me? Are you still screen recording? Yes. Thank you. So if you want to help me, I'm not upset right now. I'm blown away by the people that are messaging us that my admin are like, Allie here, Allie here, Allie here. And they're also sitting here like, Allie, what the fuck is happening? Shelly? My admin are just like, stop giving this shit to Allie. What is Shelly?
Let me break something down. When I was a kid, I had chores. I picked up the dog poop and I had to pull the weeds, and I hated pulling the weeds. That was the worst job ever. But on chore day, this one time, my mom was painting the house. She was painting the inside of the house. That was the chore that I wanted to do because that was the fun chore. That was the chore. I didn't want to pull my weeds. I wanted to paint because that looked really cool. A lot of you want to jump on and come towards Allie and help Allie because she's got the loudest voice, because she's trending.
Hold on. Now we're pausing. Hold on. You're going to start over. This little light of mine. We must say a word. I'm going to let it shine. This little light of mine. Oh my God, it's shine. Okay, now.
Where did we leave off at?
Painting. You wanted to go paint?
Yeah, I wanted to paint the house because that was the fun chore. That looked really cool, and it looked a lot funner than pulling weeds. In this fight, everybody wants to do the fun stuff. We want to go hunt down pedophiles and beat the hell out of them. We want to jump on with the person that's trending and is the loudest right now. But nobody wants to do the weed chore. Nobody wants to get outside and stand, because that's not the fun thing. That's not the fun thing to do. That's not, it's the tedious, boring chore, but it's necessary. If you're not willing to pull the weeds, if you're not willing to get outside and stand, then you're not really in the fight. If you're not willing to try to raise awareness in your sphere of influence, everybody has their own circle of influence. So everybody can be doing something. There's songwriters that are doing their damnedest and writing amazing songs. They're doing what's in their lane in front of them to do. Everybody has a lane of what you can do in your sphere of influence. It's not just about rushing to Allie's defense and trying to fix things for Allie. I understand the reality of our life. That's why we're not asking anybody for anything except to get outside and stand for the other children. There is no safety for us. There's no peace for us. There's no justice for Allie. It's just what it is. But what you can do, if you are serious, is to get outside and start raising awareness and do what's in front of you. We've already had warnings from Intel that they were going to try to box us in and basically set a trap for us by having somebody of Trump's caliber come our direction and offer help. We already know it's a trap, but if they offer public help, if they come forward like that and we decline, then we look like assholes. And if we accept, then we're probably going to be dead. So what do we do? I've told you this a million times. In this life with survivors, it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. So I'm telling you right now, before this shit goes any further, ask the right questions and pay attention to what's being done and what's being said. If people are serious about helping Allie, then start getting your asses outside. Push people to get outside. I don't see any of the truth tellers moving anybody to action. They're telling everybody to sit back and eat your popcorn and watch the show. It's not a fucking show. While you're watching the goddamn show, children are being torn apart. While people are telling you to sit back and wait for something to happen, children are being raped to death. I'm not down with that. We're not inciting violence. We're inciting fucking awareness. Get your asses outside. If you can't do that for a child, then you don't belong here. It's just how it is.
And if you see any other platforms that are like, well, I'm here now. Where were you this whole 2 years?
Ask, why are you here now?
Why are you here now? And what are you going to do? What have you done for a survivor in the meantime?
Don't come make a big show that you want to help Allie, but be unwilling to help the children. It's not about Allie. She's just screaming the loudest.
Get outside. And if you have the platform to push people to do it, tell them to do it. Tell them to do it themselves, because nobody is coming to fix this shit. It will not be televised or scheduled. Get outside. You can do it for a convict. We can do it for somebody having too much tantrums because they can't go outside or do the things that they want to do. When people were shut down from going to bars, from going to recreational activities, from buying toilet paper and going to the grocery stores to get away, from not being able, they cautioned the damn swings during the pandemic, okay? People couldn't even swing at the park outside in fresh air. When people realized that they couldn't do the things they wanted to do anymore, then everybody was pissed and was like, oh, now it's personal. Now I'm outside yelling the loudest. Why is it not personal? Everybody is getting on me like it's just me. Get outside.
You don't understand how many traps are set, how many traps are laid, trying to trip Allie up, trying to trip me up trying to discredit. We have to be watching for that shit a mile away. And I'm telling you, that's the shit that's coming next.
And you still screen recording? Because you're going to need this in a minute. Because you're going to look back and be like, yep, they called it again.
So for anybody that's trying to box us in a corner and offer us help that's not really help, that's a death sentence, we're going to put that right back on you. What are you doing for the children? I'll take care of Allie. I'll keep us safe. God will provide for a way for me to keep Allie safe like he has for the last 12 years. What are you doing for the other children that are not safe?
I don't care what money you got. I don't care what your religion is. I don't care what platforms you have. I don't care how much people you know. I don't care what blue check mark is by your name, what political suit you wear, what campaign charity you started. It's not just about the elite people. You're looking predators in the face as you go to the grocery store, your doctor's appointments, your lawyers, your attorneys, your teachers, your trashmen, your postal services. This is not just elite things that we are talking about. So to anybody with an elite platform that is trying to come forward right now, and I'm trying to help me help another survivor. If you want to help me help someone else. Help me with the obvious shit that's going on that everybody knows and is researching but refuses to talk about. Nobody wants to talk about the clients of the flight logs. Nobody wants to talk about the things that's going on in every state. Nobody wants to talk about the crimes against humanity that's actually happening. We just talk about that for a second because it brings people to it and then it backs people up. So it brings those numbers up and then it backs people down. Help me with the obvious shit. Get outside.
It's not glamorous to go outside and stand in the heat, stand in the cold. None of that is glamorous. It's tedious and tiring and frustrating, dangerous. Nobody wants to do that. Everybody just wants to come alongside whoever's speaking the loudest, and it's bullshit.
So for those who needed this, share this with everybody you know. Because it's not just about us.
We're at the bottom. It's not about us at all.
We just going through the most hell and we screaming the loudest. And we ain't showing y'all in real time. We're not playing with you. We're going to go. I saw 2 questions on Telegram. I'll take them when we jump off of here. We'll talk to y'all sooner than later. Bye, guys.